That too. Let's continue our musical journey for today on Fine Music. Episode 634 is going to be helmed by Bruce Pavalon.
And this is self-promotion day. Well, actually, I'm promoting an artist that I'm familiar with. I'm in Minnesota now, and this artist started in Minnesota with bands like Intestinal Scrape. Actually, that was only. Oh yeah, and we there was that other band. It was called the Twin City Rollers.
Ah,
So, but then apparently this singer-songwriter came out to Los Angeles. I think he might have followed his girlfriend out here who went to USC. And they arrived and they had a fishing hat. It was called Mr. Twister, and that was a lure that I used to use. I mean, that Mr. Twister used to use. So, Mr. Twister's first album here, I'm going to go to the share sound, and here we go. And it is in this. Okay, that was the one I started with, which is Papa Twister's first, latest release. And coincidentally, that's Poppy is on the fishing boat that I spent a good part of the morning on. Didn't
oh,
catch much today. But that picture is taken down at the lake. I'm up on the hill in the cabin now. And so I actually looked it up. So there's if you go to YouTube, there's two things. There's Papa Twister, the topic, and that is all the releases that have been released on streaming. And then I actually Googled Papa. Then there's another one on YouTube called Papa Twister's Midlife Crisis, which is controlled by someone who looks quite a lot like me. And and the AI actually told you Papa Twister's Midlife Crisis is the name of an album released by Papa Twister in December 24th. But we're going to go a little bit further back because Mr. Twister originally arrived in Los Angeles with nothing but with nothing but a Squire Stratocaster, and then he went to his girlfriend's dorm and lived there for a while. And he had a four-track Tascam, and he wrote this album and produced 100 CDs. It's not actually available, only in pieces like this piece. And this was the big hit from that album. But it's this, yeah, the whole album is only available if you were got one of the first 100 of them in 1992. So this, I'll just preview this song. This was the big hit. And think of someone moving from St. Paul to Los Angeles and learning about LA. This was their first thoughts.
You may say LA's gross, 'cause the air is toxic. You may hold your nose to hide from the smell of burnt oil, but the tide is low. Put the dogs in the car, let's get out of here. Going to the beach, I'm going to the beach. I don't have to think, I'm going to the beach. Going to the beach, we're going to the beach. Forget Ronnie King, we're going to the beach. You may say it's insane to sit waiting for an earthquake.
Anyway, that was Papa Twister's big hit off that album. It does end with a crazy guitar solo played on his Stratocaster. So check that out. And then you can also find Papa Twister streaming on whatever this is called, SoundCloud. And that's actually how Papa Twister has connected his music to the streaming world. It's through SoundCloud. And because on this first album, Papa Twister wanted to make sure he did something as pretentious as possible, he set a William Blake song, a William Blake poem
Went to the Garden of
to
Love
music.
and saw what I never
oh,
had
wow.
chapel was built in the midst where I used to play on the green. And the gates of this chapel were shut.
Anyway, you can check that out. That had to be done. Oh, that also includes a
And thou
guitar
shalt
solo at
not.
that. But Papa Twister loves his guitars. He loves playing guitar. Yeah. So in Minnesota, a long, long time ago in the 80s, Papa Twister was really involved with electronic music. And he made, it was actually Mr. Twister then, and he made all these reel-to-reel tapes with all these bizarre compositions of ambient, crazy music. And then, as that technology disappeared, he found someone in Los Angeles who had the ability to digitize those reel-to-reels, and his wife left home and he borrowed a DX7, and for 2 weeks he wrote a space rock opera over the original electronic music. And that was called Space Face. And that's here. I'm not sure. Wait, let's hear what happens when I play this.
Having insurance isn't the
An
same
ad.
as having State Farm.
Oh,
it's like needing a lawyer,
that out
but
of
getting
there.
some guy who just
Commercial
watches courtroom
man.
dramas.
How do I get
How
rid
does
of
the
this?
defendant plead? Guilty.
18
Also
seconds.
object.
Okay, we don't have to
13
hear
seconds.
that. Okay.
Oh man.
So-
Space Face, check it out.
Space Face, check it out.
I will check it out.
So during the pandemic, Mr. Twister became Papa Twister through acts of sexual intercourse. And oh, I'm sorry, that will be
La,
bleeped,
la,
but
la, la, la.
But later, during the pandemic, Papa Twister seemed to keep losing all his father figures until they were all dead. And he wrote this song, and he made 2 videos that I'm going to just preview during the pandemic with my son Abel. And Papa Twister's son Abel. And here he enters. I'm going to skip to that. Wish you were not dead. I do wish they were not dead. But they're dead.
Mike was a friend who gave me advice about parenting, pedagogy, and life. We played guitar.
I've never done that, so
wrote
I'm
some
kind of faking the
songs.
guitar.
He told me about things I was doing wrong. His alternative ideas will stay
Mike, I miss
with
Mike.
me.
And
Like
that is
his
his guitar.
that I am playing. All my
Okay, and then I'll skip up, and then my next one is my in-law, who Abel turns into, and that's the cabin. Oh, we missed that picture.
He welcomed me to his family.
That's my wife behind the thing. And then my final one I sing about is, of course, my real father, who is also
We
dead.
often didn't see
Or my
eye to
biological
eye,
father.
but when we fished,
We fished.
together,
We liked
were
fishing, and I like
happy guys.
So later, Papa Twister also wrote this song, which was a big hit, and made this video. It's all public domain.
Some say I'm a man among men. I say I'm a cock among hens. I'm living off the land.
Oh, I had back surgery right after this, so I could barely stand up.
My daddy's buried beneath a pile of sand. That's where he made his last stand. He was living off the land. Living off the land. Ain't got nothing to lose. Living off the land. I do what I choose. What I choose. What I choose. What I choose to do. Living off the land is a beautiful thing. You don't have to be such a sexist pig.
was the second video. You could check that out on YouTube, or actually just YouTube under Papa Twister's Midlife Crisis. And then my most recent, I mean, Papa Twist, he just happens to look a lot like me. Oh, and by the way, I told Abel to make me look like the guy from Apocalypse Now at the very end when the surfer dude at the end when he goes completely crazy. Yeah, that's who I was trying to look like. And then I've already promoted this song. There's my chord. I miss her. She would go
Classic
fishing
folk.
with me. Yes. And I do understand this. I understand that Papa Twister has his guitar, his favorite guitar. I brought it because there's these small cubicle guitar amps I have. And I understand that he's writing in the process of writing 3 songs about Minnesota. One about the Mayo brothers, the Mayo Clinic, the brothers who started the Mayo Clinic, because I'm here for more reasons than fishing. Second one about Dorothy Mulder, a woman who sold root beer to young men in the Boundary Waters. And then the last one is stop it. And then the last one is about Schoolcraft, the man who raved up the Mississippi River to find the headwaters. Stay tuned.
Thank you for that intimate report, Bruce.